Now, scrapping the E-Levy and the COVID-19 tax is projected to result in a 6.4 billion Ghana cedi revenue loss for the incoming government in 2025. This ambitious proposal by the president-elect has sparked concerns about its feasibility, particularly under Ghana's ongoing IMF-supported program. Analysts caution that removing these taxes without clear alternative revenue measures could undermine fiscal stability and derail the country's fragile economic recovery efforts. There's more on the following report by my colleague Daniel Sakite.
The cancellation of these two tax handles, as proposed by the incoming NDC government, could create a significant 6.4 billion cedis revenue shortfall in Ghana's budget for 2025. This development poses serious threats to fiscal sustainability, as the levies are projected to peak next year to stabilize government finances amidst economic pressures. Government estimates show that E-Levy is expected to generate 2.4 billion cedis in 2025, an increase from the 2.1 billion cedis budgeted for 2024. Similarly, the COVID-19 levy is projected to rake in 3.97 billion cedis next year, up from the 3.1 billion cedis this year. Based on these calculations, the two tax streams are anticipated to contribute an additional 1.2 billion cedis in 2025 compared to 2024 figures. This 6.4 billion cedis loss could undermine funding for critical sectors of the economy. The revenue shortfall may compel the government to resort to borrowing, thereby exacerbating the country's already unsustainable debt levels and increase Ghana's exposure to economic risks. While the proposed cancellation aligns with the NDC's goal to alleviate tax burden on households and businesses, the economic trade-offs need some careful analysis, especially in offsetting this revenue gap at a time when economic recovery efforts are still ongoing. Meanwhile, tax analyst Francis Timoboy is proposing alternatives to mitigate the impact of the revenue shortfall. He is urging the incoming NDC administration to review current tax break policies.
The port alone in 2023, direct tax exemption was about 3.5 billion cedis, out of which Parliament approved about 1.7 billion. Again, we have some items when you import, we zero rate them. In other words, it is classified as non-taxable. And if those items are reviewed, we can also raise a lot of money from those items. So combined, one can estimate close to 9 billion potential revenue from the port exemptions and zero rating items alone. So if we cut down on these non-essential exemptions and reviewing the zero-rated items, certainly the revenue loss from the abolition of these two levies can be recovered from the exemptions that can be obtained from the port.
While this proposed initiative will reduce the tax burden on individuals and businesses, the incoming NDC administration will need to find sustainable alternative revenue measures to address the shortfall that will be created. For CNL Business, my name is Daniel Sakite.